You're listening to Option Forward Podcast, a shared platform of independent thinkers and motivators. Join us as we capture the culture of leaders that are paving the way and sharing their inspirational stories.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to our platform. I'm Andrew. I'm with Option Forward Podcast. I'm always joined by the second half of the show, GQ Nesso. How you doing today?
What it do? I'm doing good.
All right, you feeling good? The shades looking clean?
You know what I mean?
Are we ever going to see you without the shades?
Probably not.
Probably not. At least
Probably
you're
not.
honest with it.
Probably not.
All right, what is that? Would you say the eyes are the windows to the soul?
Absolutely.
You don't want nobody seeing your soul?
No.
That's what you keep secret?
Shit, I take my shit. I sleep with my shades.
Right. That's what's up. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, today we got family in the building. All right. It's an honor and a pleasure to have him here. But I would say, in my opinion, he represents, I had to do some research, right? So change in a noun form is the definition of an act or instant of making something or becoming different, right? Change most likely occurs because of a cause and effect, right? So here to share his story, all right. Y'all probably, he kind of look familiar, right, y'all? All right. Yeah. But this is Big E's little brother right here, right? But here to share his story is Mr. Brandon Bentley. How you doing today, sir?
Good, man. I appreciate being here, man. This shit feel good right here, man. I like this. I
like
the
like
host. The setup is a vibe.
What's up with your shades too? Nobody want to show their eyes today?
Man, I'm hungover. So, I'm hungover, man. The lights is bright, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of spotlight right now, but I'm hungover.
Okay, we understand that. How you feeling this morning, though?
I'm good, man.
You got a routine when you wake up in the morning? What you do?
Do I have a routine? I had one, right? It's been broken. I used to get up at 5, have my little 15 minutes to me.
Meditation or?
I don't want to get into meditation. I don't know if it's meditation. It's just I just get lost in a thought. You know what I mean? I just jump into a thought and get prepared for the day. See whatever this day gonna bring.
One day at a time?
Yeah, one moment at a time.
One moment at a time.
Sure.
All right, I feel that. So before we get into why we're here, because we're here for a specific reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to highlight my cousin and have him tell his story. But being a hip hop head, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying? J. Cole getting up there and apologizing in front of thousands of people.
Right.
Was that a good move?
I don't think so, man. I don't think it was a good move, man. You just gotta stand on what you believe in. You gotta stand on what you said, man. It was good for the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cause those are to me are two heavy hitters. You know, cause Kendrick, I'm gonna go Kendrick. You know what I mean? He a Compton native. I'm always rock with them. They're my folks over there, so I'm going Kendrick, man. I'm team Kendrick, K-Dot.
How would you have handled it though?
I would have.
If you was J. Cole.
You said what you said, so now you just gotta live with the results.
You wouldn't have called him. You wouldn't have called him hey, Kenny, man, my bad, yo.
I mean, he had attacked the dude's his catalog. You attacked it. You said what you said. So when you said what you said, that's what you felt. I feel like you felt like his shit was trash. I felt like you felt that the Pimp a Butterfly was weak, right? Cause that's what you said. But then you go back and you start to reflect. You start to have these fancy word insight. You know, you start to have insight, and then you come out here and apologize. I wouldn't apologize. I would have let it sit.
Just let it sit.
Yeah.
What would you have done?
Oh hell no! You can't apologize. Fuck that.
Apologize.
It's a wrap. You can't shoot first and then ask questions later. You gotta just ride with it. You know, I think somebody hit him up and it's like, yo, you gonna have to apologize. You know what I mean? I that's the only reason why I would say, cause imagine the image, the damage on his image. You know what I mean? You're no longer gonna believe him.
Yeah, it's happening now. It's happening now.
No, most definitely. I would, if it was either of y'all, I would have pulled the plug.
If Drake, if Drake would have done that, I could see that. He's Canadian. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Jake going for your throat though. Jake going for it, bro. He going for the jugular, man. Drake, he ain't tripping. Drake gonna stand on whatever he said. And and I'll make it with you later on. Like he made a McMill later on, but we about to do this.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
already in the ring, so this is getting done. You know what I mean?
For sure. If you was Kendrick, would you accept the apology? Because that's the other side of the
And
coin.
Kendrick is I take that as a W for me. You know what I mean? But I'll still go back at him because I accept your apology, but I'm gonna still go ahead and Kendrick a real West Side dude, like Pyru, like he really, so they bred different over there, man. So it's like they bred different. Like he's really from over there. So I don't see him just accepting it and moving on.
Hell no, you can't take that.
No,
Hell no.
I wouldn't either. I mean, I'm with y'all, but a lot of the homies that I was talking to this week, obviously, is a popular topic of conversation right
sure.
now, and I'm like, nah, I wouldn't have apologized, and I wouldn't accept it either. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like,
yeah.
yo, it's a combative sport. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
Not literally. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to put hands on each other, and the way we prevent that, you know, let's just talk it out.
Right.
And the way I talk it out, I'm about to spit these bars.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a
So
form of conversation,
yeah.
communication. I
The,
believe
the
that.
worst part is that he apologized in a little stool. You know what I mean? Like he was like swinging his feet. You know what I mean? Like, yo, my bad. Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, stand
Yeah.
on your 2 feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
In front of his fans, though. He did
Yeah.
that in front of the people that
Yeah.
the reason we like you because you go after these people, like you know how to battle. That's why we follow you. He has a very, very strong following. So kind of like when he did that, I think it kind of just took a little bit away. I'm thinking people looking at him with the side eye.
I just wonder why none of his homies stop him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. He would have
Cut
been
the
up
mic
there.
out, you know?
I'm telling you, I would have pulled the cord with no, and people in the audience would be like, "What he say?" I don't know. I couldn't hear.
Yeah. Once
I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
Next song, plug it back in. Like, yo, like, nah, bro, you can't. I don't know. It's whatever, man. But enough about that, man. Tell the listeners and the viewers a little bit about yourself. Where'd you grow up?
That's kind of okay. So me and my brother Earl, we started off in the Hoovers. That's what we started off at. You know, from I can remember to about 10, we was over there. But I got a lot of my teachers in Inglewood. So I'm from Inglewood.
Okay.
Specifically the north side of Inglewood, specifically the neighborhood of Pyro. So that's kind of I got a lot of those mannerisms from Rogers Park boys. So being over there.
All right. Rogers Park Boy, is that a lovely place to visit this time of year?
I mean, I've been gone for a minute, so it's way different than when I left. Like it's more of a, attractive city now. But before I left, it's still a little dangerous over there. It's still dangerous, but nah, don't visit. You'll be alright.
Speaking of your big brother, man, who was very impactful and you know what I'm saying, in many lives. For those who don't know, we recently lost him. Yeah. But we're not here to talk about that. But I want to know, like, what type of relationship that you guys have,
close.
like, growing up.
It was close, man. Like, I was his. He was like my guideline. He was like my father in a way, to where I looked at him as a model. I looked at him to help me navigate through these different areas and environments and situations. The reason that I'm semi-intelligent, is because of him. You know what I mean? The other part is because of me, but he made sure that if you're gonna be messing up, you at least you gotta know how to read and write. You gotta at least get good grades, bro. You gotta at least put in some type of effort. So, and he kind of safeguarded me from this gangbang stuff. So it wasn't until he left that I just decided to join.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that. Let's tiptoe in there. All right.
Yeah. So long story short, very influential.
Yeah.
Very, very influential in my life. Yeah.
What's the most like exciting or memorable experience like you remember sharing with your brother?
When I was in a position, like when I clubbed a lot and I was outside a lot, almost every day, and for him to pop up at the house, because he will pop up, he'll pop up and I'll share those moments with him. Right, this is in our adult years. And so it always made me feel good to be able to give him some type of experience that he was like, damn, that he talks about to the day he passed. Like my brother's turn. Like we parties, bro. And just to see him free and having fun and just be cool. So those good memories, we got childhood memories, so many of them. Cause we shared birthdays together. As far as his was in June, mine in May. but we still had a party together. You know how that shit goes.
For sure,
Y'all,
for sure.
if y'all within 6 weeks, y'all sharing a birthday party
Yeah.
together. Y'all gonna share a
Yeah.
cake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was dope.
All right. You was I know me and you know I know the story, but you was college bound. What you a track star or something like that?
I mean,
you
shit.
know.
I'm looking at these dudes now. I had just went to our relative track meet, Arcadia, man. So to say I was on the track performing, like I was a sparring partner compared to these dudes. You know what I mean? I gave y'all like I gave y'all work, but these dudes like this little kid, man. He a freshman, bro, and I had went to go see our relative run at Arcadia, like I said, but this little boy ran a 10:36, which is like
freshman
as a 15-year-old boy. I'm like, and he had, oh my god, these dudes
is that Ritalin?
These dudes are moving. They different, but I was cool though. I was good enough to like get a scholarship at least. Yeah.
All right, but you didn't go to college.
No, I did.
No, you did go?
Yeah, I went.
I thought something derailed that though.
No, I went first, but you didn't say, you know what I'm saying? I went in the house, I just didn't stay in the house long. You just said I went. And then I went for 3 months, right? 4 months, from August to December, right? Of 2001. Then I went to the pen. I went to jail, first time ever. I ain't went to the hall, I ain't went to camp, I ain't went to none of that, right? They said me
Direct flight
to the penitentiary, right? So
What's the story behind that?
man, so easy call, man. That's a so you know, before I was from Pyro, I was from this thing called 3 Ps, right? And that was like a real brotherhood, a fraternity for us, right? But it started to become different because we start to our numbers start to swell, right? So it started off as probably 30, 40 under 18-year-old kids, and that shit went all the way to 120 easy, right? And as a result of that, we started like, we was like low key, banging. So I would whisper Pyro and amongst somebody like Pyro, but in actuality from 3 Ps, that's where it started at. And what happened was, I already did the time for this shit, so it don't really matter. But
No, but you can censor it though. It's cool.
Yeah. So what happened was I was going to go to college, right? I had a scholarship, and it was the summertime, and me and the homies was we was walking down the street. I remember it was like 4:35, and I was walking. It was me, 2 of my other partners, and the older dude, he was a crib, but he pulled up on us like, Hey, bad boy, hey, check it out, bro. This nigga named XYZ was looking for y'all. Now, this XYZ dude is a grown-ass man. So if I'm 17, bro had to be like 27, 28. But he was over there looking for us because he said we owed him some money.
Well, why would you owe him some money? I don't
Because
understand.
I didn't, the homie did, the middle,
Was
the one of the homies, because he bought a car from him.
Chocolate bars in the hood? That's what you guys were moving? Or?
No, niggas was. I was back then, bro. I worked, cause I wasn't about to do. I worked, But the homie gave the dude a gun for a car. One of them fucking buckets.
Yeah.
$300 car, some shit like that. The car got took. Dude still wanted his money, but now he been aggressive with this shit. So now the gun that my boy gave to him, he looking for us with the guns. We had to go get another gun, so I got the gun on me. And as we walking, again, this older crib dude said something to us like, "Hey, bro, this nigga looking for y'all." Woo woo. So I'm tired of this nigga always thinking So I handed the gun to this nigga, and I was gonna do it, but then I handed the gun to him. And told him it's your issue, so get cracking. And then I got on. He went that way, I went that way, but they locked me in. So I did some time for that shit.
Man. Now, what was it like? All right, so you said you didn't go to juvie, camp, none of that, man. So like, what was your initial like thoughts? When you heard them gates locked. You know what I'm saying? Being up in there, was you like, yo, like, did somebody prep you? Is there? Can you be prepped for that?
I mean, life preps you, right? You don't know what you know until you know it, right? So until you put into those situations. So, like, I've always been like intelligent cat, quiet. You know what I mean? Like I pay attention. You know what I mean? I try to just soak in the game. You know what I mean? But the county jail is, if you can survive in the county, that's what the dudes told me. Both from the Hispanics and the black, they're like, bro, you surviving here, bro. You can go to anywhere in the penitentiary, anywhere up and down California. LA County Jail is the worst prison system in the country. I don't give a fuck. That shit is bad as hell. It is fucked up. You got to deal with the police whooping your ass. You might go into a tank with just all enemies. You got to be prepared for that. So I was just learning and I was figuring this shit out. And then that was it. Then when I went to prison, they took it to another level as far as my education.
All right, for sure. Do you think like other than being like isolated from like your family and friends, does it feel like your time standing still while you in there?
Yeah, it does. You in a bubble. The only time you be able to tell time, you don't even have a relationship with time anymore. The only way you're able to have that is pictures. You can see your kids growing up, you know, you can see your family, you like, damn, they was 6 months, and then you get a picture, then they're 3 years old, and you know, now they're going to prom, and it's like, kind of messes you up a little bit. So that was my relationship with time. But you wake up in jail, we call it programming, right? And you have to have a program. You have to, if you don't have a program, then this time is you're just waiting for it to come to you, but you gotta attack time, you know what I mean? So you gotta get up, you gotta work, you gotta work out, and then you're gonna have a little bit of social time. You know what I mean? Then your day gone. So by 2 o'clock, my day was already empty. I'm done. My day gone. I'm waiting on the next day.
By 2 o'clock.
By 2 p.m., my day done.
Did you ever find yourself like, especially like going in, like, fuck it, I'm gonna just take flight on somebody, you know, just get my rep up, get my stars up?
Nah, because I had on the second term I was a little older, and I had a lot of street credibility.
Okay.
But my first term, that's where I was involved in more violent activities, because I was trying to just prove that I'm worthy. I'm worth it. I'm worth being from this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the yard. I'm a YG. This is what you do. If you want us to get cracking on this dude, and my number come up, shit, we're gonna get cracking. Or we go in the cell, we squabble up real quick, and it's over with. But see, I was 18. I was so young and dumb. Like, I didn't get it though. I didn't understand. Like, you just doing.
You think it's a necessity? Like, especially coming in fresh in, straight. Like, you gotta take flight. You know, especially.
Nah, cause other like blacks, we don't. Nah, that ain't our thing. Like, that's for Mexicans and white boys and shit. That's their thing. Like, we're neat. You know what I mean? Like, so, and we're fragmented. So you got too many cars from being from a black gang. You got the Bloods, the Crips, the Pyrus, the Hub and the Dub, which is the Watts and the Compton car. Like, it's just broken up. You know, the Linwoods be over there. You know what I mean? So everybody has their own culture. We only come together if it's a riot. You know what I mean? We only come together if it's a riot, a race war. That's when we gonna come together. You gonna be like, damn. You know, and I've been in a lot of them motherfuckers, man. You know what I mean? So that shit fuck your head up. That mess your head up, especially trying to come out here and transition and relax back into society. You just came from this, you just seen some things, you know what I mean?
What was the hardest thing, like, especially coming out and then adapting to society? And, you know, obviously you live a certain way of living inside, and then you come outside and everything's changed on you. So how did you adapt? Like,
I'm still doing it, you know.
Okay.
I'm still adjusting. It's still sometimes it gets overwhelming, but this shit is real out here, you know. But I was preparing for this moment in the penitentiary, so I look like I'm doing better than, you know, some cats out here, because I was preparing in society. When I was in jail, I was prepared so I wouldn't be a burden on family and on friends, you know what I mean? And plus, my reputation before I went in, I wasn't like a dingy, dirty type cat. Yeah, I always tried to go, I had a hustle, you know, but where I'm at now is like, man, I'm just trying to like chill, relax, work, enjoy my grades, you know what I mean?
In your opinion, and even in your experience from your, you know, which is based, can you go up in there solo dolo, or do you have to be affiliated with someone?
All right, so like I told you, the LA County Jail is the worst jail, right? To me, right? So when you come in there, they have this thing called Tuna Day or Tuna or some shit. Will turn up what they call that shit? Turn up non-affiliates, you know, some shit like that. Turn up. So if you come in there with no backing, more than likely you can become a target. But if you just have all the tools, like you can fight, you can talk your shit, you can, you know what I mean, and you're a cool cat, you can kind of survive. You just gotta know that you can't talk shit to certain people because they're gonna pack you out. You're gonna get packed out. Like no matter how talented you are with your hands,
numbers.
The numbers gonna and they tap in your bed at 3 in the morning like, hey, get up, we about to go to the back. And motherfucker like, God damn. Okay, how many I got? You got 5. Nigga, but after that you good, you straight. It's like you ain't.
I was about to, but what's the point of that though? Like, does everybody gotta be tested? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I can't just sit in here and read my books. I ain't even trying to talk to nobody.
If I think you look older, but like you got any type of youth, you know what I mean? I don't even think. I think even up until 45, bro, you might have to go in there and be like, God damn. But like once you get to a certain age, 'cause it's a young man sport, bro. Like banging is a young man sport.
Right.
So like, you know, you ain't gonna get no stripes beating up on no old nigga. So they want them young, you know, wolves. And it's a whole lot of young wolves, depending on where you go, you know. So
I'm trying to go. Like, I ain't trying to go.
No.
I'm trying to be where Martha Stewart's at. Man. I'm trying to bake some cakes or some muffins.
They got some places like that. But not in the LA County.
I gotta get my wealth.
Level 3, level 2, level 1. They all in that building over there, man. They all in that building.
So, but like, back up though. So, like, if you try to come in there unaffiliated, like, what's the strategy there? You know what I mean?
Like I said, you just gotta be you gotta be humble, but you can't be too humble to where you look like a yee. Like you gotta be humble enough to where it's like, hey, bro, like, cause a man's energy, like for real, is gonna be louder than anything that he can. That's a man's energy, right? And if your energy is man, like your energy is like, bro, I'm not the dude to where you gonna be. You ain't about to. I don't do that, right? Then you gonna get a lot of respect. Then they gonna respect you. The YGs up in there, or the you know, the young Crips or all that shit, they gonna respect you. But you just have to understand, like, you can't get into the politics. There's certain things you just can't lend voice to, you know, as a non-affiliate. Because if you say something, then you're gonna have to participate. That's just a thing. If you say something, then you gotta participate. You gotta be willing to go. You know what I mean? So you might as well just chill, read your book, and they won't fuck with you.
I mean, but doesn't it look kind of like suspect, or like, say for instance, it was like no affiliation, you know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, for me, perfect example, no affiliation, and I catch a case or whatever, and I'm like, yo, B, man, like, hey, I'm not trying to go in there like a lone wolf, you know what I'm saying? I'm too cute for that, you know what I'm saying? They gonna get me, you know what I'm saying? They gonna get me, bro, you know?
Nah, man, but
like, can I be like, yo, just like, you know, but do I have to?
But you're gonna be probably attached to your area, like, so there's this tier system, right? So it's like, it's on Kendrick Lamar album, like, man, where your mama stay, where your granddaddy stay, all that shit, right? Yeah. So if you don't gangbang, right, you're not a blood, crip, or, you know, a threat say or whatever, right? So then we're gonna be like, okay, well, then where your folks stay at, right? And then, you know what I mean, you like, man, I'm just all, you know, they over here, they over there. So now we're gonna be like, oh, okay, well, you know, where's the you be like, I'm from the IE, so you probably run with the IE, because they're gonna be like, oh, well, that's where I mean, that's kind of where you from. You connect
they narrow
to
that shit down.
Yeah,
huh?
you connect to those people, because y'all got the same, like, oh, I went to, you know what I mean? I went to
the coast.
All the shit. Yeah. So they gonna be like, so then you gonna connect on that level, even though they might bang, but you just a cool motherfucker. So you gonna find yourself, if you get time, you're gonna find yourself just kind of gravitating to those, the people that's like you.
Can you buy your way through?
Why would you even want to do that?
No, I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
People
like,
do it. They've done it, but
like,
that is
like live with comfort.
That is the.
No, because that's what I was asking. Because I've heard a lot of celebrities. I ain't finna drop no
Lil
dimes,
Wayne, you know what I mean?
but I heard when the celebrities who ain't got no gang affiliation, they know they about to go inside. They be like, hey, hey, blood.
But
their
situation is different. Cause you a celebrity, you got the. But I'm just talking about like a Joe Smoke. You know.
No.
I'm
I'm talking about like the comfort,
though?
like the whole, like, you just keeping yourself, like, just serving your time. You know what I mean? Just chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without having to deal with the politics.
Like, can I pay you not to put in work? I'm affiliated with y'all, but because y'all got me on the books, like, I'm just trying to.
That's like a death sentence, man.
Really?
Yeah, like you can't. See, we got this thing with the older homie said one time, like, man, you can't pimp my P. You know what I mean? So my P or my B can't be pimped. You know what I mean? By your inactivity. You know what I mean? So if you active, you know what I mean, then be active. If you ain't banging, then you say you cool. Put your you know what I mean? Just put your flag down. That's cool too. But like, and I'm not promoting it, but I understand like to be in that environment, man. It's like, oh, hey, y'all familiar with this show called Big Brother?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like Big Brother, bro. It's, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's some cannibal shit where, you know, y'all eat yourselves, you know, blood might, like, you know, they on you. Right. So you gotta be intelligent, man. You gotta know how to navigate, and that's just listening and paying attention, and who you align yourself with.
Okay, all right. What got you attracted to the gang culture though?
Belonging, you know, wanting to belong. I think, you know, coming up, they had the juice back in the days. You know, they had the juice. They had all the things that you look for in manhood, because these are your male examples. But again, my brother, he had always like been that buffer between me and that poor decision. You know what I mean? Because he seen that I was like impressionable, but I'm his little brother. And my brother Earl would, you know, he ain't no tough. He wasn't no. He'll be in the house reading a book, like serious books, like you know, what was that motherfucker? He read Alex Haley Roots. Motherfucker read Malcolm X. And he was doing this at 10, 11 years old. You know what I mean? So that kept him, you know, away from the street shit. But he understood the culture. So that's what my initial attraction was like when I was like 10, 11. And then when they, you know, like I said, the time I turned 12, 13, it was like, this is what we're doing. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
But then none of the like, so I'll give a perfect example. Well, I don't think I've ever shared this, but like, when I was still in LA before my parents moved out to the IE, you know what I'm saying? I used to kick it with the Rolling 30s, you know what I'm saying? So, and when it was like time to get my knuckle game up, and I was like, yo, like put me on, like a lot of the big homies was like, nah, bro, you stay in the church, keep reading your Bible. This ain't for you. Right? So like you know, because it's not like it's a past tense thing, but you a talented, intelligent brother. Then none of the big homies was like, hey, yo, like, nah, bro.
Yeah,
like,
but see, that's what the people that's close to me, they're exposed to that side of me, right? But I was also, when I'm in the streets, like, I'm also like pretty poor citizen. Like, I'm kind of messed up, you know what I mean? I wasn't doing all the right things. I did boy things, you know. I was
right.
I'm stealing, you know, I take cars, but back then I wouldn't steal from my family. I wouldn't steal from, you know, my neighbors, but I'll go to the dealerships and steal their cars, and I'll make like, oh, well, you know, at least I'm just taking the dealership cars or the rental cars, you know, and we did it. We did that for a long time. So, I was messing up in the streets, man. It was fun.
If you could do that shit again, would you do it again?
I would use that the same way that I prepared to go to war on the streets, the same way that I prepared to you know, like I just said, steal cars. I would put that energy, because I would put that energy into something else, right? Because I had a great imagination. My thing is it was this thing called crib death, where you come up with all these great ideas, and the moment that it makes contact with anybody, and they frown and be like, what's that? Then it dies, right? And so it's like, that's called crib death. And I've experienced that a lot, where as far as, you know, I have great ideas, but I just let them fizzle. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't bang. I would not gang bang. That shit floppy as fuck. That shit dumb as shit.
Now, okay, so like when you come from a wonderful community organization like yourself, you know what I'm saying, like the Pyrus, right?
Right.
You mentioned there's like an accountability that comes along with that. Like it's almost like a damn. I mean, it ain't even like the way you explain it to me, and I want you to just explain it. But like it's like the military. Like everybody got a role. Everybody got a job. Either you good with like writing, you good with like. You got the infantry who good with, you know what I'm saying, like with the physical aspect, the violent aspect, or like, you know what I'm saying. So can you explain that?
Well, I mean, I think, man, you had a soft conversation, but when it comes to that lifestyle, and you join, and before you join, I mean, we best friends. You my boy, we childhood buddies, right? But the moment that we cross over and you start banging, there is an expectation. There is accountability that you must have. There's there's like your life is different. You know what I mean? Like either it's an infrastructure. You're gonna either put in work, you're gonna have the money, you're gonna have the girls, you're gonna have to be able to contribute to the brand, right? Which is the game. You gotta be able to contribute to that, right? And sometimes it might be all hands on deck. It's war. So I don't give a fuck if you getting money enough. It's wartime. It's wartime. So you going on that field trip, and if you're not, you got some of your peers that'll holler at you. But you going on the field trip, you're gonna get your hands dirty. You gonna get your hands dirty.
That's crazy. Dang, that's crazy. So it don't matter. Okay. So if say for instance I'm an artist, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously every album cover, I got my flags all over the album, everybody dressed in blue, everybody like flamed up or whatever the case may be. Even that guy in the time of war, he expected to put in work.
I think that so there is an exception to the rule, but if there's war, all right, your role is gonna be what your role is gonna be. You know what I mean? But those dudes that's boots on the ground, and they gonna have they going.
Damn, you said boots on the ground.
Yeah, they going. Going. I'm gonna stay with the military thing. I like that because that's kind of like what we get our structure from. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then that's what prison gets their structure from. Military, like they use military time, all that shit. But I've yet to eat a meal. I eat my meals in 5 minutes or less. You know what I mean? No matter how big, like it's 5 minutes or less. And I'm easing out of that because I don't want to look like a savage. But yeah. So if you making money, you know what your role is.
Yeah, you finance.
You know what your role is.
Yeah. You gotta finance. You gotta.
It's a war.
War's house money.
How lucrative is the structure that you would say? Like, do you think that like is done the right way? Like as far as contributing to the organization in a sense.
So you saying
like is it lucrative? Like no, as far as the organization itself, not just the gangbanging.
Nah, I mean it depends on everybody gonna have their turn and their time. You know what I'm saying? So like right now you got the north of England, so they home right now. Like you know what I mean? The IFGs, the neighborhood Power Roots, the Queen Street Bloods, like them niggas is up right now. So and they're able to make certain moves because of their affiliation. Like people are not gonna you can make moves because of your affiliation, just like in jail. Like you can't just be on the yard making money, right? And you don't bang, or you can't be on the yard just, having a cell phone and, you know what I mean? You're not attached to anything or anyone. No, nigga, I need that phone, bro. Give me that. You know what I mean? Because some niggas who bang and get their phone took, on the yard. So it's not a lucrative situation, but everybody gonna have their time. Like the 6-0s, they've been balling for years. The front, like you got rich gangs. The Harlem, them niggas got money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's the people, it's the leadership.
Bad. Cause I mean, you gotta. I think if you're gonna be doing some dirt, you gotta. I mean, you can't rely on no public defender. You know what I mean? Like you gotta have them lawyers. You gotta, especially if you got people that are more, especially if they're more valuable outside than the inside. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, but this is a savage game.
Yeah, I was about. Yeah,
it's not like a real you're not on Wall Street, so people don't have the finances to to buy them out of situations. These motherfuckers is straight hungry, poor, black men, black boys. You know what I'm saying? They gonna do what they have to do to eat. They gonna do what they have to do to eat. They gonna do what they have to do to feel like they belong to something. You know what I mean? So you gonna commit crime because that's what your environment telling you should do. You know what I mean? To benefit your gang, and then you go to jail, and then you get replaced. You know what I mean? Then you gonna be making your name in jail. Then you come home, but somebody else, another young buck he didn't came up the ranks, right? So then you gotta try to find your situation. Are you gonna go fight for it? Or you gonna go? You know what I mean? It's all types of little. That's just politics shit. But nah, man, this shit ain't about money. It's about self-esteem. It's about
surviving,
being a part of something. You know what I mean?
Now, speaking of that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we cut from the same cloth. It ain't like we play cousins. No, you know what I'm saying? My mother and your father are brother and sister, absolutely, right? Yeah. So, how did you accept what you were doing or what you were involved with, like morally, like your moral compass? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, no, even to this day, bro, I listen to the radio, whatever, and like we always praising like the drug kingpins, whether it's New York, Oakland, LA, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like we praising that dude or that female or whatever, but they like destroyed the community. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he get money, and for some reason, like that dude or that woman was like the role model for so many. Yeah. Like, come on, he got cars, he got the girls. Like, I'm trying to be like dude. But I think that was like, for me, you know, speaking from my own personal experience, I always saw that. I was like, man, that's a lame ass dude. You know what I'm saying? Because like my aunts, she hooked on that. You know what I'm saying? And he the one providing it for her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna look up to the dude. You know what I'm saying? So how did you like justify your actions or your affiliations, like morally?
Well, there's this thing called you minimize and then you rationalize, right? So you try to reduce your activity or whatever you've done, right? At least you always throw at, well, at least I ain't doing that, right? And the rational part comes to where you just trying to make it make sense. Like, oh, well, it's just, you know, at least it ain't no blacks type shit, right? You might say some shit like that. I don't know. So it stabilized you know, because I did come from a cool household, you know, Baptist straight up, you know, and you know, but at the same time, when you in it, and like that pull, the pull from the streets and the pull from your peers, it was stronger than the pull from my household, because the again, you know, rest in peace my brother, but my brother was my anchor. So my brother was like, you know, cause we're close in age, we kind of going through the same experience, so he can pull up on me like, man, what the fuck you doing, bro? Like, hell no, like, you know what I mean? That sounds way better than that shit coming from my grandparents, you know what I mean? Who got me about 50 years. I'm gonna relate to my bro. So, and he never made me feel weird about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, you know, he just said, all right, well, my brother banging. And that's just be safe, and, you know, that's just kind of what I try to do, be safe.
And honestly, like, you know, just, you know, thinking about, you know, cousin Earl, man, like I remember having a conversation with smoking some cigarettes. Remember at that family little get together, you know, we're over here smoking some cigars, drinking some cool whiskey and whatever, and you know what I mean, like the intellectual talks never was there. Like I've never felt him ever having any type of judgment. Like literally, you would talk to him, and it was just a very intellectual conversation where, like, you could be you. You know what I mean? And and like in my opinion, I thought that was like a gift, because I was like, man, every time I see him, we have these intense conversations, but it's never where my opinion is not valid or anything that I'm saying. Like he's actually breaking down, and I could see that, you know, him being your brother, you know, like, you know, trying to steer you the right way, but at the same time trying not to put any judgment. And honestly, bro, like, your cousin was a stand-up dude, man. I mean, now your brother was a stand-up. Cousin Earl was a stand-up dude. You know, just the intellectual side. Like to me, that was very like, damn, man, like you don't see people like that. You know what I mean?
And I'm glad that he was able to impact, you know, the people who he did impact, right? Which is a lot. And for me, he created a safe, soft space to have difficult conversations, right? So I call him from the penitentiary, like off the wall. I give him a wall call. He'll press 5, no matter where he at. He gonna press 5, and he gonna. We don't even talk about jail. Like we don't even talk about. We just talk about just regular shit. So I always felt free. 15 minutes of freedom he offered me.
Yeah.
You know, like I was saying, you know, every prison I went to, he came. He always, from 18 to when I get out at 40, shit, you know, not consecutive years, but shit, he always was there. So that's why I'm just like, you know, we got to start having these, these early, his initials ENC. So I just call it early necessary conversations, you know, before they get out of hand, before, you know, because I know how to live in isolation. I know how to live where it's just me and my thoughts, man. You know what I mean? Forced living, you know what I mean? But my brother, he gave me a release, you know, but I didn't know who was that for him. I thought I was, but I think he was so careful protecting me that he didn't want to put a burden on me, because for whatever reason, he thought I was weaker than I was. You know what I mean? Like, I could deal with it, bro. Like, I can deal with Joe's burdens. I can deal with mine, because, you know, I've been grown for this shit, man. You know? So, yeah.
So, rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
Fuck,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
You're big on, damn, man. Why we gotta talk about that nigga? You're big on mental health.
Absolutely.
Like, why is it important to you and for you to be able to deal with your ills? You know what I'm saying? Like, early stages in life, beginning, middle, end, or whatever point you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, and it applies to everyone at this table. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it was the crib death syndrome.
Yeah.
I call it failure to launch.
Right.
Because, you know, I don't do things for like people's acceptance, but I can get it though. Like, I get it. I get like coming up with a brilliant idea. You go to the homies, you go to your family, you be like, yo, this is what we about to do. This is what we about to make a move on.
Yeah.
And they hit you with the screw face.
Right.
Nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
A little deflating.
Yeah. This is like, so why is it so important? You know what I'm saying? Speak about that mental health, the importance of strengthening that and increasing the awareness and being able to endure your ills, because you're going to experience them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he always say, like, life ain't fucking rainbows and lollipops.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So what's your perspective on that?
A couple of things to unpack here. All right. So my relationship with mental health came on this term. You know what I mean? Because I was ignorant to it. I didn't even know that it was a thing. I thought that you could see mental health. You know, I didn't know that. There's some functioning people who really goes through it. And then when you look at that, there's a window, man, between the day you're born and 10 years old. And that's your trauma window, right? So those are very important years. And then what ended up happening is anything after 10 years old, you got new experience, but you still got all this trauma that you ain't really dealt with. You ain't released. And I just think that there has to be a circle of anybody, man, where you can just have those conversations, because I know your mental, especially as a man, I know it's genderless, but especially as a man, for you to be able to lead a family, bro, like your mental gotta be at least okay. You know what I mean? It gotta be at least decent, because that shit is hard work. That shit is tough, straight up. So that's why it's important. And then my brother, man, yeah. So yeah, that too. You know, I know that we need a place to have conversations.
And you know, and the crazy part about it, just to tally on that, you know, I think sometimes it's the least person that you think, you know what I mean, that you'd be like, nah, that dude is strong, that dude is, you know, he's good. Like you don't need to check up on him, like, you know what I mean, he got it handled. But it's usually those type of people that are in pain, you know what I mean? And sometimes, like, you see a motherfucker smiling, you know what I mean, and you don't know the shit that he's carrying, you know what I mean? It's just different ways of coping with it, and unfortunately, like, that gets overlooked, specifically because it could be your personality. If you have a strong personality, if you grumpy, you know what I mean, people don't think you got feelings, you know what I mean? And that's the hardest part, you know what I mean, that you see a lot of people that you could help, you know, and that you could just, as simple as like, what's good, like, you good, like, you know. And I think that's the hardest part, because at the same time you have to be a man, you know what I mean, you have to be that foundation for your, you know, your people. And it's very hard to be a foundation, but yet, you know, kind of get that you know, that second wind, you know, especially, you know, trying to deal with shit, you know. So
for me, and I'm gonna be short-winded on this one. So for me, one of the things that I always found to be an issue, it was like the call and response, like, hey, how you doing? I'm fine, right? And we say that, and we're so used to saying it that, you know what I mean, we don't. So I disrupt that flow. So how you doing? I'm just breathing, trying to break even. You know what I mean? And now you want to, now I'm pulling you in to just really ask me a follow-up question. You know what I mean? I'm nervous as fuck. I'm about to go over here and do this job, or I'm about to go do this. And I'm scared. You know what I mean? If I'm just saying, we have to do better, man. You know, we just have to do better on just being able to lean on one another. You know what I mean? And that's it, without being so judgy.
I don't know, man. Like, you know, me and him are like, you know what I'm saying, we become pretty close throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see it as a judgment. Like, I may be like harsh, I may be rude at times. Like you say, I'm grumpy and shit, right? You know, but like and it ain't even like, I don't know, man. Like, for me, you just, I'm so far ahead, like, it's crazy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm already thinking about the next conversation that we're going to have the following year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like a lot of things, a lot of expectations. You just be like, man, dude, like, why it ain't work out? Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. Or why is life like this? Or why? It don't even have to be about myself. I can be like so concerned about him, but I'm just like, yo, I'm just in the bed. Like, dang, or I can be so concerned about you, especially, you know, dealing. I'm like, I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to eat. Like, I'm good. Like, cause I can feel it. I can feel it, man. And it's just like, when you open up to people, cause I get on him about that all the time. Like, cause we're so protective of our strength. Yeah. We're so protective of our image. And I'd be like, why not? Well, why not tell him? Cause like, no, bro, you don't want to see him. You don't want to see like him. And I'm like, I don't give a, like, I'm gonna let you know like how I feel. And then when I do let you know how, because it comes off aggressive and it comes off like angry, nah, you don't want to mess with Drew. Like, you can't talk to him. Like, nah, bro, like, I'm tired of holding it in. Like, bro, like, when you're shouldering the weight of everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's hard. I think what I was saying was it's kind of hard at times when you feel like you're shouldering the weight of so many other people. Like, they always say, like, yo, check on those friends that you think are strong. You know what I'm saying? Because those be the ones who need that outlet. You know what I'm saying? So, and you mentioned that, you know what I'm saying, we got to be better with that, being open and expressive. And you say you ask the question, or you respond in a way that make you come back with a follow-up question. Right. So like, how can we improve? Because I don't see it as weakness.
Well, look, I think what that is, I think, you know, everybody here in this table, we've all experienced grief, right? And I think that as a man, right, the first thing you could think about is obviously in a perfect scenario, desensitized from feeling and anything. But when grief kicks in, right, you're gonna have to deal with it either today or maybe 10 years from now, right? But no matter what it is, you're still gonna have to deal with it. you know. And I think that's the biggest thing is that especially as a man, I think it's very hard to be okay, like, fuck, I'm not good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not good. Like, this shit is like kicking my ass, and unfortunately, like grief can put you on it's definitely gonna put you on some shit that you've never been before, you know. And how do you go about that as a man? Like, there's no perfect answer. It's just a matter of feeling, and unfortunately, feeling is just.
It's for me, man, because I get this a lot. All right, so it was a couple of things you said. So desensitized. So let's play with that word a little bit, right? So for me, when I'm dealing with death, I think that I was kind of like crossing over into that because I buried so many homeboys and friends that I've shared so many different experiences with, right? Funeral after funeral after fucking funeral, right? So, but I'm not afraid to allow my emotions to flow. Because I've learned that I need to feel. I need to just feel so it can just get over, so it can be over with, right? So, and with my brother, I get this all the time. Well, how do you feel? Like, I lost my brother, right? So I always say, man, you know, this is my blood brother. We got the same mama, same daddy. This my brother, like, you know, household until he left and moved on. But I'll be okay because I can't live in sadness forever. You know what I mean? I'll spend some time there. I would let that flow, let it run its course, and then I have to live life. I gotta live life. I still got people that's dependent on me, right? And that's how I deal with it. But hell yeah, this shit hurt. It hurt. And sometimes it hurts at certain parts of the day worse than other parts of the day. And sometimes I don't think about it at all. So that's how I deal with it, man. I just let feelings do what they're supposed to do, and that's to flow. I need to feel it and let it flow through. So yeah.
You know, and I ain't gonna lie, like, I remember, you know, finding the news of your brother, and you know, the first thing, obviously, you know, I've lost my parents, you know what I mean? So you try not to feel, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, it was a shock, right? But it was almost like a defense mechanism for me to not, like, you know, not feel anything. Mm-hmm. And you know, regardless of you know, the time that I've known him, like, you know, we connected, and you know, your brother and I connected in so many ways, and I felt like it's cool. I'm shit happens, you know, like it was almost like me not trying to deal with it. And I remember Drew putting a picture of him, and that was the first time that I've seen a picture of him. And when I saw it, I was just like, damn, like it hit me deep. It like, it almost put me in a situation where I was like, I didn't know how to handle it, especially because I was like, you lose your parents, nothing else hurts. And then, you know, you hear about Cousin Earl, and you're just like, fuck. Like it like opened that wound, and it's so hard to be able to, like, know how to cope with that, especially because he's gone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So I'm gonna let you jump in if you got some words, Drew. But so for me, it's like, I just feel like that bring me peace and bring me calm. Is that we brothered to death. Like, we brothered. Like, I don't regret, like, all our fights, or you know, there was way more love than it was, you know, us bumping heads. You know, 'cause my brother, he been the same way. Like, he don't express himself like that. Like, he been gave up on feeling. You know, yeah, he been gave up on that. So he'll just this is my brother. Like, this is my roommate. You know what I mean? We bunk beds. Like, this is my bunkie. You know what I mean? So I live with this dude. So he would, like, seriously be upset, be bothered, and I know he's bothered, but, like, anybody outside of our room, they wouldn't know that he was bothered. And he been like, and it went into his adulthood. And that's when I'm like, man, I know something was up with my bro, man. Like, I be knowing, you know, I know something was up with bro. I love him, I miss him, but like, I have my moments.
For sure. For sure. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, Nestor and I spoke on the way here, thinking of where my children are specifically in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, one up, one down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm prepping him, prepping her. You know, now I can remember where I thought or what my intentions were at their very age.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like just like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you just gotta value, like you said, moment by moment, not day by day, but moment. This very moment, I'm present.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what we need to work on at most. But like I always do, I open up the table and the microphones to our guests and to the host of this show to leave any parting, you know, words of wisdom, whatever is on your mind, to share. And today we're gonna start out with GQ Nesto. GQ Nesto, is there anything you would like to share?
You know, I want to thank you for coming through. You know what I mean? Like, your image, straight image of your brother, and, you know, thank you. And, you know, for our audience, I want to say, you know, grief is a everlasting battle. You know what I mean? And sometimes you just got to take your time, ride with it, embrace it, because it ain't going nowhere. And unfortunately, you know, you got to do what's best for you. That's all you could do. You know, there's no right or wrong way to grieve, and, you know, take it in, you know, because, you know, essentially we're all going to get there, you know, and it is what it is.
For sure. Brandon, Bentley B.
Yeah, man, I appreciate just being here, man. This was cool, man. Cool little platform to just have regular conversations. I will say this, we have to just try to find you a ear buddy, you know, or earbuds. That's what I call it, just earbuds, a person where, you know, thought partner, you know, where you could just have these. Earl was mine. That's my brother. He was mine. So try to get that somebody that's that you could trust, and even if y'all fall out, you know, they won't use your information as a bullet to hurt you. I appreciate being here, man. This shit was dope. It was fluid. And it was real neat. I appreciate that.
For sure. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from two of the best. Life is life, man.
It is.
You know, we try to prepare. You educate yourself. You think about what's going on in the future, or what could possibly happen tomorrow or later on today. But you just never know what to expect. But you got a support system, and if you don't have one, find one, please. But we love you. We thank you. I'm Drew. We Option 4 Podcast. We see you guys next time. Peace.